Hi, Cancers, and welcome to your June 2019 Astrology 33 bonus love reading. Normally, this is the video that I do for the sign whose video from the previous month had the most likes, views, and new subscribers, but for this month, I decided I was going to do it for all the signs, just so you guys could see what the spread is like. And the general idea, well, first of all, for those of you who do normally watch my general readings, you'll notice that there's different decks on the table and a different spread. So deck on the left you see here is actually the tarot, the Lover's Path Tarot, and on the right side we have the Tarot of Sexual Magic. And the spread is actually something I call the Bridging the Gap spread. So I used to use the past, present, future spread in the past, but now I'm actually using this, and it's similar. But let me just give you a quick layout of what the spread represents. So on this side, these three cards represent your energies. These three cards represent the other person's energies. Now, keep in mind it is a general spread, so if you feel that once we start talking through the cards, if you feel like this is more like your energy and that's the others, definitely trust that. But yeah, basically this would represent past energy from your side, past energy from their side. Present energy from you, present energy from them, future energy, future energy. So that's the general breakdown there. And before I forget, if you guys wanted to book a personal reading with me, follow me on Instagram or donate to the channel, you could check out the description of the video for more info on all that. All right, so let's move into the main spread. Starting with the past energy from your side towards the connection. And we have the 10 of arrows. So, this is the equivalent of the 10 of swords from the Rider-Waite Tarot, if that's what you're more used to seeing. And now normally this would look like an ending, right? So for some of you, this could just be saying that you actually ended a connection. But I do like to point out, when I remember to anyway, that with the 10 of swords, the original artwork for it was actually a person carrying 10 swords. So it was a lot more like the 10 of wands artwork. And, when they actually made the Rider-Waite deck, they changed that and made it with the person actually with the swords in their back. So this could just be saying that you were really thinking about possibly ending the connection, or really just overly thinking about the connection in general. Do I want to have a relationship with this person? Do I want to continue a relationship with the person? Whatever the case may be, just could have been a long mental process behind what you were doing. And this could even just say that you might have had an argument with the person. You guys had Mars traveling through your 12th house for a while, and now it's actually in your first house, and it's going to be there through, I think, most of June. So, that might have brought out a little bit more of a fire in you, as far as maybe, calling someone out if you feel that they were doing something that bothered you. But yeah, that's the general concept here. But I'm really feeling like this was more of, this could either play out that maybe you ended one connection and you'll soon be starting a new one. But if this is all with the same person, this could just say that you might have had a falling out with them, as far as you might have had a big argument. And then the past energy on their side is actually the 5 of wands. So, this is basically, if we're used to the Rider-Waite artwork there, it looks like a card that usually represents some kind of ego conflict to an extent. Sometimes it represents competition as well. So that could play out a few different ways here too with this artwork, right? That could just be saying that if you did end a connection, right, maybe there was someone waiting for that to end in order to kind of swoop in, basically, for lack of a better way of saying it. This could also represent jealousy, so maybe, people might have been spreading rumors in the connection, so that's something you have to keep in mind too, especially if, this was something, like I said, if you were just replaying something over and over in your mind, thinking about the situation, that could be what's going on there. And, and that might have even been something that came out for you guys when you had the full moon in Scorpio, which is your 5th house. Maybe you realized that if it was basically a matter of someone spreading rumors about, oh, I saw them doing this, that, and the other, it might have come out that it wasn't true, right? Because what I see for both sides going forward, it looks like there's an improvement of the connection. So it really can play out that maybe for some of you, you did end a connection with one person and you quickly move on into a new connection. And maybe this is someone who was basically, waiting for your connection to end with the other person, for their opportunities to try to get something started with you. Um, but yeah, I'm not really getting an infidelity vibe here, however weird that sounds, even though you might think so with the other person watching. But I mean, put it this way, this person here, it's unlikely that they're meant to be one of the people in the relationship, right? It looks like they're more like someone looking on. And I look at them almost reaching for that sword, and it's like, all right, they might try to spread some rumors or communicate something, but if that's the case, it most likely will backfire. Because if you look for him, it's like he almost looks like he's reaching for that sword, but the way he's about to grab it, he'll probably end up cutting himself. So that's the main vibe I got there. All right, and the present energy towards the connection from your side, we have the Ten of Cups. So, I mean, you can't get much more drastic of a difference, right? Going from the Ten of Swords to the Ten of Cups from past to present. And, with this particular artwork with the Ten of Cups, I like to look at the fact that here it looks like you almost had stormy waters, right? So that's why I say for some of you, this really could totally be that you might have had a falling out with them, maybe some kind of an argument with your person. Maybe things were bad for a while. Like I said, especially with Mars coming into your sign, you might have just really came at them aggressively for whatever reason. And, moving into the present energy, you guys are actually repairing that. So maybe it was just, a short lived thing. Maybe things that even needed to come out, right? Maybe things that were bothering you for a long time that you just never expressed. And, maybe you finally let them out. And then, coming into the present, you guys actually try to, navigate those stormy waters and get back on the right path. So that's the main energy that I'm picking up from there. And like I said, for those of you, if it is that you did end one connection, it looks like you might be jumping into another one that should be fairly healthy rather quickly, too. So something to keep in mind there. Now, in the present position on their side, we have the Four of Cups. So to me, this usually represents, this is actually a Cancer card too, so something to keep in mind there. Like I said, if you feel like these energies represent more your energy in your opinion, and then this seems more like the other person, definitely trust that and roll with it. But yeah, this actually represents the last 10 degrees of Cancer. And what this could be too, this was another card that made me think that maybe there was some people maybe trying to talk about your connection behind other people's backs. Like something seems a little off, right? If we look at the way they're standing there, something just doesn't seem right to me about that. I don't know. But and then what was interesting to me too was almost that the sword, not the sword, the scissors there, and then the magnet. So it almost even made me think like someone was trying to cut the cord between the two of you, right? But that magnet wouldn't let it happen, basically. However weird that sounds, that's just what came to me with that artwork. I mean, to me, this artwork in general, those things over there just seems a bit off and odd. But that's the first thing that came to my mind with that. It's like I almost picture someone like, oh, let's cut the cord between them, and then but that magnet wouldn't let that happen because magnetically you guys are just drawn to each other at that level. But this could also say that, even if there was that fight in the past, right? Maybe accusations about something. Oh, I heard this, I heard that. The Four of Cups energy to me also, even if you think of the Rider-Waite, there's the guy sitting there under the tree with his arms crossed, right? He's looking at the three cups that he has in front of him, and he doesn't look very happy with them. And there's another one coming his way, and he's just not even paying any attention to it. So to me, that's someone who might be upset, especially in this context. If there was some kind of argument, this could just be saying that they're really upset, but they're not going anywhere either. You know what I mean? So it could just be like they're trying to let you know that they're still upset about whatever conflict you guys might have had, but at the same time, they're not leaving. They're just making it known in whatever way that they're trying to that, yeah, I'm upset about what happened. So that's the vibe I'm picking up there. All right, and then in the future, influence from your side, we have the Two of Cups. So this is actually a Cancer card as well. It represents the first 10 degrees of Cancer. And this could be pointing to a timeline too, as far as when you guys would reunite, because this is a reading for June, and towards the end of June will actually be, the sun will be in those degrees of Cancer. So That could be what that's pointing to there, as far as when you guys are in this energy. But to me, this could just be you guys, especially if there was some kind of big argument. Like I said, maybe you guys had some falling out. This could just be you guys agreeing to start over again, and just say, all right, you know what? Because here I see the stormy waters, the stormy waters too. Looks like a bunch of puddles, and then there's like that lightning in the background. So, this could just be the two of you recommitting to each other. Like, you know what? Let's just put all that stuff behind us and actually just, get to know each other better. And basically, I definitely see that as a positive. But yeah, that's the energy I pick up there. And you could say, well, you go from the 10 to a 2, that seems like a reduction, right? But not necessarily, especially because I will say with the 10 of Cups, I always say to people that on the downside, if you think about it, that could represent over idealizing a connection too, maybe romanticizing a connection and not having your feet firmly planted in the ground, because that's very much like a Pisces and Neptunian vibe with that card, with the whole rainbow in the sky with the cups, right? So, maybe this is just the two of you getting a lot more realistic about what was, right? And we even see there's one cup knocked over, the other one you can't tell if anything's in it. So this could just definitely represent to me that you guys reconcile with someone that you had some falling out with. That's really the vibe that I'm getting. And then at the bottom of the deck for you guys too, we have the Queen of Staves. So this is actually it represents Aries. So to me, that could just represent, again, like I said, Mars coming into your sign. Maybe that's what has you coming in that energy, feeling more passionate and ready to go after what you want, ready to express yourself if there is something that you're unhappy about, right? And maybe in the beginning that might cause a spat between the two of you, but as time settles, maybe it gets you guys back on the right path. And then underneath that, I'm not going to go through the bottom of these decks forever, but it did stand out to me that beneath that we have the Prince of Arrows, and then this is actually it's Cupid in this particular deck, but this normally would represent the actual Knight of Swords energy. So something to think about there too. Maybe again pointing to with that energy in Gemini, maybe you guys actually are able to communicate, get things back on the right path between the two of you. All right, and then on their side, we actually have the Six of Cups. So this is another card to me that again points to between the energies, the way they look on your side, and then this card ending up on their side here. I'm really getting the vibe that this is you guys reconnecting with someone. So yes, maybe it's someone that maybe some of you did end a connection with someone altogether, and there was someone who was in the background that knew you from the past, and they were just, they kind of wanted to get with you back then, but obviously you were in a relationship, right? So they weren't going to act on it. But maybe now they're like, okay, I have an opportunity. But this could just be saying that the two of you reconnecting too, like I said, with that Two of Cups energy there, agreeing to, put whatever rocky past you guys might have had behind you and move forward in a more positive way. So definitely a pretty solid ending there. And then on the bottom of the deck on their side, we actually have the World card. So, to me that represents completions, so maybe this was all meant to happen karmically. And I do have to mention that for me, the World card often represents Saturn energy as well. And it can represent the nodes. So, you have the North Node in your sign. And then with that Saturn energy at play, obviously at this point, I don't think I have to tell you guys, you have a lot going on in your seventh house right now. You have Pluto that's been there for a long time. It still has a long time to go. You have Saturn in there now too. It's going to be there for I think another year and a half maybe. And Saturn's actually hanging out with the South Node in your opposite sign this month. So there's a lot going on there. So on a karmic level, this could have just been, something that you guys had to go through together, and maybe in the long run, it gets you back on the right path anyway. Or for those of you, like I said, if you did completely cut off one connection, looks like there'd be a new one starting off for you rather quickly. And it's most likely with someone you've known from the past, not someone completely new. But just what I'm feeling there. All right, and then what I'll do is actually do attempt to pull a couple of oracle cards from this Mystic Moon Oracle deck that I have to see if there's any unspoken messages from your side toward them, and then from their side toward you. And basically I'll just we'll shuffle for a bit and see if anything comes up. If not, we'll take that as a sign. All right, there's nothing else to look at with that. And then I actually have one other Oracle deck we'll pull a card from as well. So first, like I said, we'll see if there's anything unspoken from your side toward them. But yeah, I mean, this one seems like a pretty heavy... Oop, just got one, but it fell. So give me a second, I have to go get it. This feels like a pretty heavy reconciliation vibe here. So we'll see. But yeah, give me a second to get that card. Alright, this is an interesting one. And then I'll see if there's anything from their side towards you next. So let me shuffle for that for a bit. These cards are kind of crazy. Like every time, basically with the main decks too, I do the same thing where I'll just shuffle until one pops out to me. But with this deck in particular, they pop out, but then they also tend to fly across the room sometimes, so it's interesting. Or they just, sometimes this deck can be a little stubborn too, though, and it won't give me anything. So that's why I say, if we're shuffling for a while and nothing comes up, we'll just trust that and roll with it. But yeah, we'll see if we get anything as far as unspoken messages from them toward you. Alright, I'll give it a few more shuffles. If nothing pops out, we'll leave it as is. Alright, there we go. So, from your side towards them, we have, I've never forgotten you, even though you think I have. So that even more to me represents that this could definitely be a situation where you guys are reconciling with someone that you had a falling out with from the past. So, maybe there was a harsh ending, or again, maybe this is an ending that you had in a recent connection, but there's someone from your past that, might end up coming through and you connect with them. But yeah, like I said, these cards are pretty self-explanatory, so we don't have to talk about those forever. And then what's interesting from their side toward you is we have, I can't handle your words right now, which is interesting because, like I said, something tells me, especially with that Four of Cups energy in the present, which, like I said, is all about, to me, it almost makes me think of someone just sitting there with their arms crossed, like in the traditional Rider-Waite, and, making it known that they're upset, but at the same time, they're not going anywhere either, right? So that could be what it was. For those of you, I would say this is more for those of you if you did have that conflict, that 10 of Arrows moment, right? I mean, 10 of Swords versus 5 of Wands, you'd probably be a little bit, obviously, sharper with your words than they were. If you were coming with it with the 10 of Swords energy, they were coming at 5 of Wands, so this could just be saying up until the present, they just might still be in their feelings about what you said to them. Like I said, hey, it happens. Mars coming into your sign might have really let them have it if there was something that was on your mind. But with the future energies we see there, I don't think that that's going to last long. Like I said, they might just have their hurt feelings, and maybe you come toward them and try to get things back on the same page. It doesn't seem doom and gloom at all. And if you're a cross watcher watching this, I don't mean to laugh at your pain there in that regard, but yeah. And the next thing we'll do is, this is actually one of the Oracle decks I use in the general readings as well, but yeah, this is the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. We'll pull one card here for just, general advice for the spread as a whole, and then we'll wrap up, alright? But yeah, I mean, the reconciliation vibes for me in this one were pretty heavy, and then those cards, to me, just kind of emphasize that even more. So, And we'll see what the Wisdom of the Oracle adds to the mix, if anything. Same as with the other deck. If I'm shuffling this forever and nothing's popping up, we'll just take that as a sign and wrap up. But we'll see. I'll give it a minute or so with this. All right, there's one there. Message in a bottle. All right, yeah, sometimes these messages aren't exactly what they seem like they'd be on the surface, so I'm not going to assume that it's saying that, yeah, this could just be you reconciling with someone that you had a falling out with, but there's the card, the artwork for it, and the number is 15. If that has any significance for you. All right, it says essential meanings: communication, a sign, a claydon, and it says in parentheses the ancient name for a spontaneous oracle delivered innocently by the speaker, pointing the way to your highest good. All right, the oracle's message says, Spirit sends you signs when you ask for them, when you believe you will receive them, and when you allow yourself to become fluent in the language of symbols, oracles, and omens. They may come to you as a bird flying by, a logo on a truck, and a song on the radio. Expect confirmation that you're pointed in the right direction. Keep your ears open, for someone might say just the right thing that will give you the answer to your query. Today, your message is this: Spirit hears you, and the reply is favorable. So something to keep in mind there too, like I said, if this was some kind of big argument you guys had and maybe you're just looking for a sign, oh, should I reconnect with them? Or maybe again, like I said, if this is just someone totally different from your past and you just got out of another connection and you're thinking about maybe reaching out to that person, maybe the timing would be right for that. All right, the relationship message says you can expect someone to favor you with positive news. This could be in the form of a letter, phone call, or email. You are the intended receiver of this message, so stay open to what you learn. Only good will come of it in the end. The signs are all there. So that's interesting to me too, because when I mentioned earlier in the reading that I got a vibe that maybe for some of you there was someone spreading gossip about your connection. Maybe, they had ulterior motives there, right? So I feel like if that was the case too, this is a pretty good sign that you might receive word if that was the case too. Maybe something that you thought someone was like, oh yeah, they're doing this, that, and the other. Maybe the truth will come out about that too in your favor. All right. So we'll wrap up there, guys. Happy birthday, if I forgot to say that earlier, to those of you who will be celebrating towards the end of June, and I'll see you guys next month. All right. Bye.